I'm at the gym. My God, I'm absolutely shattered. I've started to, when you're at the gym on your own, and as soon as it starts to hurt, you stop. But then when you're with a trainer, which I have been recently, you realise how it should feel. How the no pain, no gain is right. So I've just started trying to just push myself. And I'm doing a couch to 5K again. And it's so pathetic that I've got like random American woman's voice. I don't have like a well-known person do it or anything. But when they're going, "You're awesome, keep going," it's like I feel like a little girl at school. And then today I got something like hidden athlete badge. And it's like, I want to go home and show my mum, so I've sent it to Lincoln. It's pathetic. Anyway, I do feel much better, mentally as much as anything when I do something. And it's been great down in Suffolk because we've done really long walks and I've been doing little jogs. Listen, I ain't going to be no Paula Radcliffe, but I just get fed up when I lose my fitness completely. So it's been really nice at Raw and then at Space Gym here in Cheshire to build it up again, and such lovely people to help me through. So that's me at the gym, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. I'm going to try and stop saying, every time I do these snippets, I start everyone with so, and when I hear them all back after the edit, it's like, so, shut the fuck up, you so-and-so. Anyway, bye. Right, so this weather, oh God, just puts me in a mood. I'm driving along, and it's big blobs of white on my screen. It's bloody hailstoning. It's hailstoning. I know there is nothing I can do about the weather, but that doesn't stop me getting so angry with it. That means that since September, when they started playing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" in the shops, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, that's 7 months pretty much of winter and greyness. I just can't. Anyway, the news at the moment, if you have the misfortune to listen to it, a lot of it is about the hacking case that Prince Harry is bringing against several papers. And I am behind him 100%. Again, you know how I repeat myself. It's an age thing. And because I do these podcasts so impromptu and sort of unplanned, I sometimes think, oh my God, did I do that a few podcasts ago? But again, forgive me, but off I go. The hacking case. For those people who, and I know that my lovely audience doesn't think this, but there are people who think, oh well, celebrities put themselves out there. Obviously, I'm not talking about the royals at the minute. I'm just talking about celebrities, a word I hate, but celebrities generally. They put themselves out there. They deserve everything they got. If they didn't have anything to hide, it wouldn't be that bad. I've had all of those things said. But unless it's happened to you, you don't actually realise the far-reaching implications of it. So, for example, a very famous person was hacked, and she had told her mother a secret, and the mother was the only person in the world to whom she had spoken about this secret. It then hit the press. None of us at the time knew about phone hacking. Now you can imagine this person says to her mother, who she trusted with the information, how did the press get a hold of this? Her mother says, I don't know, because I swear I haven't told a soul. The daughter tries to believe her mum, the person she loves most on earth, but in her mind, there is absolutely no other way that anybody else in the world could know this secret. Can you imagine what it was like, for the celebrity to think that, in her mind, to know at the time she thought that her own mother had betrayed her, either by gossiping about it to someone or indeed to the press, or the mother who would die for her child, who would never betray a confidence, cannot believe that her daughter has accused her of such a thing. Now, of course, the celebrity and the mother, years later, discover that the celebrity's phone had been hacked and voicemails had been listened to, and indeed bugging devices may have been put in rooms like they were in mine. Can you imagine how almost irreparable that relationship will be? The daughter racked with guilt that she ever accused her mum, and the mum pained to the extreme that her daughter ever thought that could happen. Now, that is just one example of the many, many things. My own experiences were that after 9/11, I was devastated and broken by what had happened. I was filming a program called The Vice with Ken Stott, and I was in a terrible, terrible state, as we all were. And my friends said to me, "We don't want you to be on your own tonight," because I was working away. We were filming at this mega mansion in Hertfordshire, and Louis was up home with Louis and Matthew were up home with their dad. And like, the show must go on, We halted filming for like an hour and then had to continue. And of course, the next day's schedule was the same anyway. I was drinking at the time, of course, but my friends said to me, "We don't want you to be alone. Come up and meet us at this bar in London." I didn't want to go, but I didn't want to be alone, so I went into the toilets, and there was this beautiful girl there, and she came out and said, we both came out the cubicle together, and I remember exactly what she looked like. This beautiful, she was an Indian girl, and she looked amazing and beautiful, and I remember going, "God, she's stunning." And she said to me, "Oh, you're Denise Welch?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "Sorry if I'm staring at you. You look incredible." And she said, "Oh, thank you." She said, "Oh, I'm a huge fan of yours," and blowing smoke up my arse and me up hers and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, she said that she said, "Oh, can I buy you a drink at the bar?" And I said, "Well, sure," So we stood at the bar for a bit having a chat, and then I introduced her to my group of friends, and I realized that she wasn't with anybody, and she said, "Oh, my friends left early." And anyway, basically, she said to me that she was basically this poor little rich girl who was actually quite lonely. I know, and listen, I am not naive, right? I am a pretty good judge of character. But this is what she told me, and that her dad was buying her a flat above the Sanderson Hotel, and yada yada yada, and her dad had this boat on the Thames, and would my friends and I ever like to go on it? And I thought, oh, fabulous, okay. Anyway, we exchanged numbers, and I was very flippant about giving my phone number out to people I liked. My ex-husband Tim used to say, "Why don't you just get your fucking phone number tattooed on your forehead? It'd be much easier for people to get it then," and all that stuff. Anyway, I was very trusting, and I gave her my phone number because we didn't have Instagram and all that malarkey. And so she called me every day for 3 weeks, and nearly every single time I was either working or I was up north, and I'd say, it's not very, Myrish said she's called, "It's not a very good time to call." I said, "I can chat later, but I'm literally bathing Louis, and then I've got to take Matthew, collect Matthew from school." Or, I was always doing mum things, leading a very normal, unglamorous life, doing mum things. I used to do a show called Soap Fever. I used to present a show called Soap Fever on, would it be ITV2? And I used to present that, which was actually great. They should bring that back. It was so good for people who love soaps. Anyway, I digress again. I then went to Spain to do a photo shoot with Beverly Callard and Gabby Glaister. And they came back on the day that we should. I decided to stay an extra day because I had a flat in Spain at the time. Then wished I hadn't because it absolutely pissed down the whole following day. So I just stayed in the flat. And this Myra called me and invited me to a party. And I went, yay, hey. Anyway, we got involved in a little bit of a chat. And I uttered some confidences and admitted that I was a party girl, and basically I got back to the UK. We were going to a friend's 40th down in Somerset. Off we went. I got a call at 5:30 on the Saturday saying, "Hi Denise, this is the Sunday Mirror. I'm afraid we are exposing your use of recreational drugs." And I had my 12-year-old son with me. It was the most appalling time. Shame on me. And it was her. She had been a journalist that had been set out to entrap me. Now, if she stumbled over me in bad activity, that's what journalists do. But she was sent by the paper to entrap me. When I went to the bar in Beecham Place on the night of 9/11, she had been sent there. She wasn't just a random girl in the toilets. She had been sent there to entrap me, to listen to me, to stalk me for weeks, to get me to say something on the phone. And I eventually, because I thought she was going to be a friend, I confided in her, and she had taped my call, and that was the result of a headline which blew my life up. It was just absolutely horrendous. There were also occasions whereby other stories came out, and photos of me going in and out of hotels, not doing anything particularly wrong. But years later, the journalist, Graham, he had had a breakdown and had come clean about the fact that he had hacked me, and he had admitted to the police in Operation Wheating or Operation Golding. There were two operations going on for phone hacking, and he admitted that he had hacked me, that he had been sent to stalk me, that he had been sent to sniff out other people in my life, and that as he had been booking into the room which they'd got him opposite my room in what was then the St. George's Hotel in Regent's Park, that he had seen two people come out of the room opposite that was my room, and they were detectives from a private detective firm employed by the Mirror to put a bug in my hotel room. Years later, another story came out, and it was that they had put a bug in my hotel room at the Marriott Hotel. And the only person I had told about this this night was somebody that I was working on Down to Earth. And a whole story came out, and I blamed that person. I didn't trust anybody. I didn't trust my friends. I thought people were selling stories on me. And it was an absolutely horrendous time. And then when you go, I remember sitting in Putney Police Station for 5 hours, and the police were saying, well, when you stayed here in Maidenhead, no, not Maidenhead, where was it? Oh, in Marlow. When you stayed here in Marlow, there was a estate agents opposite, and basically the newspaper had taken over a flat above the estate agents to watch you for 2 weeks. It was just an awful time, and I just know that if they were doing all of that and going to those lengths with little old me, what on earth were the lengths that they were going to with the massive celebrities and with the royal family. And I know that every single editor of successful newspapers was aware of the hacking. And I make this point, every one of them. I know several journalists, okay? I know several people who were working for those papers at the time. Some of them who actually went to prison. Some of them who, got fines or whatever else they did. And they have told me that no editor with a successful newspaper did not know what was going on. And so I hope that everybody gets their comeuppance for what they did and the lives that they ruined and attempted to ruin. Absolutely, I hope that they do. And I just think that Harry, who knows that the press played a part in his mother's death, that he gets them for everything he can. I know it's obviously not about the money for him. It's about justice and for the lives that they ruined and the lives that they continue to ruin with their persecution of Meghan. So anyway, I'm off to the gym again. Aren't I good? There's my rant. Bye. So I'm at Louis' house, which I haven't seen since he got it. So I'm looking around, and it's a bit like a shrine to Nana and Grandpa, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's some lovely pictures of Grandpa, and also Louis got some of the Grandpa's chair that he used to sit in, Nana's little table, the mirror on the wall, and then we've just been going through some. He brought a box of DVDs and stuff down from my sister, so it's incredible. So you'll see a few of those photos popping up on Instagram, no doubt. What were we just saying, Louis? That I said, oh, let's podcast this.
Do you want to put it on about the house? Just about the house?
Oh yeah, just
how proud you are of your son. He's just doing so amazing. He's got his own house already.
Yeah, he's so amazing, so amazing. He's just waiting to hear about a job, because obviously Louis is an actor, but he was just telling me that...
Always waiting to hear about a job.
Every single time, though, every day, he said, and this impresses me, and it's what all young actors should do, every day he learns something different. What did you say you were listening to the podcast on?
I think as an out-of-work actor, I just try and because days can start to feel so repetitive doing the same...
Yeah.
Shit, so can I say this well on the podcast? Doing the same shit over and over and over again. But just trying to make myself, and this applies to not even just acting, but trying to make myself feel like I'm 0.1% better than I was the day before.
Yeah.
And that can be just through that can be through like waking up, doing a workout that you didn't do the day before. That can be.
Well, I can see the old weights there.
Yeah, you know,
I can see it because then when you, that is, well, I used to call my sons Mr. Puniverse, right? They were like a lang drink of water, as they say in the Northeast. And now, Matty's completely changed his shape. Well, and now Louis is looking proper buff. You are, though. Turn round. No, that's great, Louis. Because it just makes you feel better about yourself when you start this new job. Especially if you're going to have to do...
Especially if I'm going to be in Croatia.
Well, especially if you're doing horse riding in it as well, which you're going to have to do. And then if you do the horse riding and if you learn, I've said that, you'll probably think, oh my God, please. But then we could go on a mother and son holiday to that
South Africa
horseback safari, because it looks absolutely amazing. Lincoln won't go on it with me because he thinks he'll be eaten by a lion. And when I said, no, he does. But when I said, do you know, where are you disappearing to?
I thought I got a weird smell from the fridge.
Oh, so when I said to Lincoln, so if on these safaris people get eaten by lions all the time, which he said, why don't we hear about it in the press? He said, because they don't report it. So every safari, some random person is getting eaten by a lion and we just don't hear about it. The safaris are very, very, very well managed.
Well, exactly.
And if you are on a riding safari...
those animals are way smarter than everyone thinks. They're not bothered about a car full of humans.
Well, they're not in a car. We're on horseback.
Oh yeah, but that'll be in
but you have to be enough of
inside a big ranch.
No, it's not. It's proper in the jungle or whatever. But you have ranches, but you've got to be of a proficient level to just all stay together on the horse. And obviously you're going around wildebeest and there's Lincoln ringing, wildebeest and
well, yeah, you have to be able to control the horse.
You have to be able to control the horse, and then they test you when you get there. So if you're learning to ride for this job, it'll be fantastic. Thank you so much for listening to the Juicy Crack podcast. I am loving doing it, and I'm loving having my own voice that's only edited by me or, well, DK. If you're enjoying it, tell your friends, and let's try and grow our Juicy Crack audience so that I can bring you better content every single week. Also, leave a question and I will endeavour to read it out and answer it for you. Thank you. Can call there. That's why I just went off quickly. But yeah, so it's all exciting. But that's an actor's life. That is just trying to keep on top of things in the out of work periods. You're lucky that you've had some good voiceovers as well.
Definitely, 100%. Yeah. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to. I mean, they've kept me going financially.
Yeah, I know, it's fantastic. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I could do with a nice voiceover, but I'd rather you have them at the minute.
Aye.
And then I'm off to do me. So, what's the rest of the day hold then?
I mean, it's a bit grey.
It's grey and miserable
grey today. I think. I mean, it's a Friday, so I imagine Freddie and or Harrison will probably come over later.
Do they stay over, or do they?
Yeah, they stay over.
They stay over. Where do they stay?
I've got a you know, the air bed.
Oh yeah.
That's now my spare bed.
Oh, is it?
So that second bedroom. The thing is with this that.
Where do you do your self-tapes?
Either in my bedroom or wherever the best light is in the house on that.
Because you've got so many cream or white walls.
Wherever the best light is. I've done a few down here actually. Because if it's sunny, at about midday, sometimes you can have light blasting through there and through there.
Oh, I saw Paul Ferris.
Oh yeah.
Outside Petit Delise today.
Right.
And he was just sending his love.
Yeah,
that's Louis' ex-karate teacher. Well, Louis and Matthew's ex-karate teacher. That's why they were both Michael Jackson obsessed, and they both used to dance like Michael Jackson in a really cool way. And it was because of the karate moves. Do you remember he used to merge Michael Jackson with karate? Yeah, he's really... Have you seen him on crutches, Paul?
No.
He's really hurt his... Oh, I don't know, meta something.
Well, I saw him outside.
He's in agony with it.
Well, that's only happened in the last couple of weeks, because I saw him 3 weeks ago maybe, and he wasn't on crutches then.
Oh, it's just, it's all, I can't remember when he said well, no, I think it's happened. Did you see him sitting down, though?
He was sitting down.
Yeah, I think he did. It happened because he's been on the NHS waiting list for ages and eventually had to go privately. Anyway, but anyway, he sent his love. I've got Carrie coming over to do nails, and then I'm going to London Monday.
Carrie.
And I think Joe Murray's popping in.
Nice.
And I think Auntie Rose might be popping in, and maybe Samir and Jane.
Today?
Yeah, for nibbles and nails.
Nibbles and nails.
And yeah, so I might see a few of the girls this afternoon. And then, as I say, tomorrow, and then Sunday I'll find out if that place at Levenshulme Antiques is open on Sunday, and then I'm being driven. Oh, that's another option for you.
What?
But I know you like to have your car. Because it's bank holiday and the trains are taking 150 years to get to London.
Get you a car.
I'm getting picked up at 6 o'clock at night on Sunday and driven down. So with lovely Tony. So you are more than welcome to
I'll
come.
probably drive myself down.
You'll probably drive yourself down.
In Newcastle playing on Sunday again. We just played last night.
Where are they playing?
Well, we played against Everton last night.
And?
Hostile environment at Goodison Park.
Who won?
Newcastle, obviously. Or won.
Did they? So didn't they win 5-1 last week?
We won 5-1 against Spurs last week, and we've scored 6-1, so we've scored 10 goals in our last 2 games.
Bloody hell.
The teams, it's the best Newcastle team I've ever seen.
Is it really?
Best Newcastle team Dad's ever seen.
Dad's ever seen?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of, okay, so far, I mean, look, they've not been around long enough to not gonna. I bet the fans of Juicy Crack are gonna be loving this Kevin Keegan talk. But no, Newcastle.
They like everything.
They had a really successful period under Kevin Keegan, but already the football.
And the times when our old mate Mickey Quinn and all that were there.
Well, they were the glory days.
Sumo.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sumo.
God.
You know, Peter Beardsley.
Oh yeah, Peter Beardsley. Steve Watson.
Didn't they say Mickey Quinn was the fastest player ever over half a yard?
Was he?
Wasn't that what they used to say?
Oh, over half a yard, yeah.
He could turn so fast.
He was such a great guy. Those were the days when we were pals.
Ginola was, remember Ginola?
Oh my God, I was in love with David Ginola. Oh my God, I was so in love with him. But during those days, before you were born, and we were living up in the northeast, that's when Peter Beardsley, Shearer, we used to see quite a bit of Steve Watson. We were mates with Mickey Quinn, used to come over for parties and stuff.
Dad told me a funny story about David Ginola. He was like, David Ginola, I'm doing a charity. It was like, as did every woman. Your mum had a huge crush on David Ginola, right? He was a gorgeous man, right? And I'm doing a charity match in James's Park. And I'm getting in the showers. And I had a shower, and now there I am showering with David Ginola. I said Denise after the game, I said, hey, I was in the shower with David Ginola after the game, you know. And she said, oh, never. He said, aye, he's got the smallest cock I've ever seen.
He did say that to me, he did.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, but I bet David Ginola didn't have.
No, I bet he did. Of course he did. And even if he did, it didn't matter.
Oh, my God.
But he said that...
Your dad did say that. I remember that. That was 100 years ago.
Yeah, well, before I was born.
Wow.
Before I was even born.
Before you were born in 2001.
Yeah, which when people hear that was a year that, when like a 35-year-old says, when were you born? Because especially now that I'm 22, I've been working predominantly with adults since I was like 17, so like, a lot of my friends are like in their mid to late 20s, and when I say I was born in 2001, they're like, how is that even a year when people were born? He was like, what do you mean you were born in 2000?
No, I know, but that's what I mean. So I'll be, because I've got friends in their 80s and friends in their 20s, and I'll be talking to somebody who I'm relating to, well, obviously on a normal level, and they'll say I was born in 2000 or I was born in 1990, and then they'll say I was born in 2001, same as you, and it's like, I know my son was born then, but how is that? I was born in 1958.
It's just because of the numbers, isn't it? It's because we went from 100 years of it being 1919.
Yeah.
But now when I'm 70 and I've got kids, I'll say I was born 2001, they'll go 2001.
Yeah, I know.
And then I'll go, my parents were born in the 1950s.
I know, but when I there's, when you look at Twitter or Instagram, sometimes people post those lovely videos, and there was one of 1936 recently, around Trafalgar Square. It wasn't even revamped, it was just there, and that was the year Grandpa and Nana were born. But then there was one in 1959, so I was one. And I look at it and I think, that's the olden days. It looks beautiful. But I was born then, I was one then. Everybody looked stylish, nobody was overweight.
Nope.
No processed foods. You never saw any on those videos. Nobody was overweight. And it just, I don't know. We always romanticize about
But
times.
then again, you look back and you think politically in 1958, what was,
Oh, listen, listen, the whole thing about the politics and the cost of living and everything now, and watching the news at the minute is just so depressing. Apparently we are in the worst financial state for 70 years.
I 100% believe that.
But what it is now is that we know so much more.
Yeah.
So, for example, there was a 1957 and a 1967 pandemic, an Asian flu pandemic. Okay, worldwide there wasn't as many people died, but when that nurse got in touch with me, who nursed people in the 1967 or 57 pandemic, can't remember which one she wrote to me about, 80,000 people died in the UK. And when you think of it,
to scale, there was much less people.
That was a lot of people,
of course.
And she said, much as it was awful, she worked in the RVI in Newcastle. There was no panic
because there was no social
media, and there was no breaking news.
Exactly.
So the thing is, politically, and all of these, half the Tory government being completely and utterly corrupt as they are, this has always gone on.
Yeah.
We just didn't know about it. We didn't have people posting on Twitter about it.
It's the same as, there's so many examples. Police racism in America, everyone seems to think that it's through the roof right now, and it's like, no, it's always been that way. People are just filming it now.
That's exactly it.
And
people are filming it more. Loads of horrific stuff went on, and we know so much more. Knowledge is power, but it's also, sometimes
fear.
It is also fear, and that's how they control us now with with fear, and because we know so much. And even though you try to not, I mean, there's certain things over the last few years that I wouldn't have had any idea about if I wasn't on Twitter. I try to come off Twitter, but I do find out quite a lot. And I have got a voice and I do like to use it, but I use it very infrequently. At the moment, I've just done a rant in my car there about the hacking thing and hoping that Prince Harry wipes the fucking floor with all of them. You know, and I was saying, well, just because basically I was telling people on the podcast about the fact that when Mum was hacked, how distressing. Yeah, remember I got the
I remember.
case.
Sorry, I just never.
So of course all of the things that happened, regardless of what my life was like, it was my private life. And like I say, if a press person, if you do something wrong in a nightclub and they're there and they take a picture, you bang me to rights.
Yeah.
But when they are putting bugs in your hotel room and tracking your every move and setting people on your tail and getting journalists to come to a bar where you are to entrap you into conversations, it's absolutely disgusting. And my point was, if that was happening to little old me,
imagine what they're doing.
Imagine what they did to the royal
royals,
family.
yeah.
And Harry has got every right, because they contributed to the death of his mother with the press. That's why she was out without security.
And
that's why he's moved. That's why he's moved his wife abroad.
Exactly, he moved his wife away from the establishment that contributed to killing his own mother, who everyone, most people, well, certainly look back on.
And the thing is, everybody thinks it was Meghan. You know, they all say she didn't know what she was getting into. Who does? The other thing is that once Prince Harry and Meghan were starting to get magazine covers that said the People's Princess, which is what his mother was called, the Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace, could not have them more popular than the heir to the throne and Kate Middleton.
Even though they already are. Nobody under the age of 24 can.
I've got nothing against William and Kate, but I think that they had to be the prime ones, and therefore it was let's keep anything away from them and throw the others under the bus. So I've come up to Lincoln's studio, which is up the stairs, and I'm out of breath. And he's got Connie painting with him at the moment, and Connie is a wonderful emerging artist, and they're working on is this the one that you're working on yourself?
Yeah.
God, how big's that, Connie?
I don't know, how big is it?
1.8 square metres.
1.8 square metres. So Lincoln is sort of, I don't know whether to say mentored, but when Connie was about 15, we went to her house, and Lincoln was just really amazed by the work on the walls, and he could sort of see similarities between the way that they work and that they think. But you're selling quite a bit now, aren't you, Con?
I know I am. I'm trying to.
I know. It's amazing. Because how old are you now?
I'm 22 now. I've just turned 22.
You've just turned 22, yeah. Just the same as Louis. So she's doing absolutely amazing. Constance Baxendale. So you say Baxendale, don't you?
Yes, Baxendale.
Constance Baxendale. One to watch. And here is my lovely hubby. Hi, darling.
Hi, love.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. Are you?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at that. Look at that thick oil. It's so.
I've worked with layer upon layer upon layer. These ones.
Oh, I love that one. I love the colours in that one. Oh, I'll take a pic. What?
That figure there's a cool figure. It's a good one, that one. I'm pleased with how that's come out. I'm liking this one. I love that one Connie's doing.
It's gorgeous. Beautiful. It's beautiful.
I love the yellow and the figures.
So I've done Nibbles and Nails, which apparently on Love of Huns they said it was the best thing. Do you remember that when they said that, the best thing that they've ever heard? So Carrie's come to do me nails, so I did an impromptu Nibbles and Nails. So I've got Rose here. I've got Sally Dinover. Say hello to all the juicy crackers, Sally.
Oh, hello, juicy crackers.
Right, let's see who's got the best juicy cracks. Samir Gardi, Samir Longchamp.
Hi, juicy crackers.
Jane Danson.
Hello, juicy crackers.
Juicy crackers. I've got Carrie Chapman.
Oh, you juicy lot.
And the lovely Hattie Dinover.
Hi, juicy crackers.
And the lovely Jo Murray.
Hello, crackers and juicy bits.
Anyway, so that's it. So I might get us all to have a little chat about something later, but at the moment we haven't seen each other for a long time, so it's all top secret. Bye. So I'm here with Carrie now, who's doing my nails. So Carrie has. I didn't do this last time you were here, did I?
No, we didn't do it last time.
Carrie has done my nails for, well, it's before 24 years, because that's when I was with the girls in Corrie.
I think was I
25.
Was I 22 when I think that was when I worked at David Lloyd.
That's right. Well, I met you when you had a little corner at David Lloyd.
I'd been to Australia. I came back when I was 21. I went to Australia, so I was about age 21, 22, and I'm now coming up to 47.
That's outrageous.
I know.
I can't even, it makes me feel sick. So I used to go to Carrie at David Lloyd Gym, and the thing about David Lloyd is, this is how long ago it was, you could smoke and drink in a certain allocated corner, do you remember, of David Lloyd? In the upstairs bit, in the bar sort of recreation area, there was a corner where you could smoke and drink. So I would be in that corner with a bottle of Budweiser and a fag. People would ring me and I'd go, I'm in the gym. Because I was in the gym. And then I'd go to Carrie for my nails. And then when I started Corrie, which was 24 years ago.
Yeah.
So maybe even 25 years ago.
I think you just started in Corrie.
Yeah, and we were doing the 40th anniversary of Coronation Street, and we were doing a live episode, and I was 7 months pregnant with Louis. Oh, that was towards when I was leaving, but you'd done mine all the way through. And we were doing a live episode which was going live at 7:30, and I was absolutely shitting myself, and I only had a small bit because I'd said, please, I used the stress of the pregnancy to not give me a lot to do in the live episode, because doing a live theatre show is fine. Doing a live episode, we were watched at the interval at the first end of part 1 by 26 million people. And Carrie came to do my nails, and I was in the Rovers living room, and Carrie was doing my nails up until they said, this is almost like your half-hour call. And I was going, don't make her go, Ned, I need my other nail done, I need my other nail done. And Carrie was working around all these people, and they literally nearly carried her out, didn't they, of the Rovers living room. With all your stuff. You were ushered out. And there's Bill Tarney and Liz, and there's Carrie with me nails. So that's how long ago she's done it. So once about, I don't know, 20 or something, Carrie was coming to do me nails, which can take up to a couple of hours to get me gels done. And I said, look, I'm going to be sat here with you. I'm going to invite a few of the girls round to have a nibble. So that then became Nibbles and Nails. And
The famous
WhatsApp group Nibbles and Nails. And because I haven't seen all the girls together for ages, I just did a round-robin call of Nibbles and Nails. And that's why today we're all here. And as you can see, there is never a pause for breath with this crowd.
Yeah, never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment.
Had a good turnout.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's brilliant. And the thing is, because the Coronation Street schedule is so, some people don't, if they're not in storyline with other people, Sally, Dinova, Samir and Jane have just all walked in and greeted each other like they've never seen each other, because their storylines aren't, so they hardly ever see each other at work. They see each other more at my house.
Right. Oh my God, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I know.
I've not seen it for ages.
So yes, you've caught us during Nibbles and Nails. There you go. So guys, if there's anything that you've ever heard me talking about that you'd like to hear more of, or indeed anything you can suggest that me, DK and Lincoln can bring to the table, contact me on denisewelchpod@gmail.com. And indeed, if you've got any questions, ask away. We'd love to hear from you.